Hey guys, Mike from Mike's Gaming Gala here, and I have a request for you. If you only watch one of my videos from start to finish, please make this the one. This isn't going to be your typical video from my channel, off script, but now that I've finished my duties for this weekend, it's been a heck of a week. I wanted to talk a little bit about the YouTuber of the Month competition and everything that's kind of going on around that. So first things first, we won. I want to give a massive thank you to everybody that voted for me. 45% of my votes came from my brother's Twitch community, which is amazing. He's Peter24742 on Twitch. He's got a great stream. He streams to about 50 to 150 people a night. Great content. For my viewers, probably most relevant would be his Tuesday Troll days, where he plays retro games. Not quite as retro as what I usually do videos for, but NES, and you can donate bits and make him play with his controller behind his back, or without his glasses on, or with inverted controls, stuff like that. So huge thank you to Peter and his community, obviously. This competition, at first, obviously, it was an incredible honor to be nominated, and I want to give a huge thank you to Retro Bliss for nominating me. And it was one of those situations where I went in thinking I had no chance to win. I'm a comparatively small channel, comparatively new channel, and I was up against, really looking back at previous months and previous years, in my mind, probably the strongest competition that there has been. Retro Bliss had some fantastic nominees. But it wasn't until my brother dropped a request in his gaming groups to go to the video and vote for me. And within the span of about 5 minutes, I got 40 votes. And that put me kind of in a close second place at that point. And once that happened, I thought about it and I was like, I want to win this. June was a fantastic month for my channel. We went up over 100 subscribers just in that month alone. And I attribute a lot of that to the competition. It was, you know, the biggest struggle for any kind of content creator is finding your audience, or rather your audience finding you. So just the fact that there were eyeballs coming to my channel and taking a look, whether they voted for me or not, helped my channel grow. And something that I posted in my nomination video for July was, you only have one vote, but subs are free and they're unlimited. So just because you vote for one channel doesn't mean you can't subscribe to all of them. There's great content, and I hope you go and check out my nominations. But yeah, about 3-4 days left in the competition, I decided I wanted to try to push. See if I could actually win, because for my channel, first of all, I did have 2 or 3 channels that I wanted to nominate, that I thought were worthy of nominations. And second of all, if I could win, then that means potentially in July, because I'm doing the nomination part of the video, I'm going to get more eyeballs again. And then at the end of the year, when the YouTuber of the Year competition happens, that's going to be more eyeballs again. And more eyeballs, for as long as you can get them, is a good thing on YouTube. So I decided I want to try to win this. And I pushed. I sent messages to every friend on Facebook that I thought even remotely had a willingness to vote for me. I sent a text to a neighbor of mine that lives a street over. I was asking people to get their friends, get their spouses, get their kids to vote. My son actually got one of his friends to vote for me. So right at the end, a lot of votes came in and we ended up squeaking by. I think we won by about 9 votes. So every single vote counted. I appreciate absolutely everybody. I mentioned that the competition this month was huge. And at the end of the day, winning YouTuber of the month really doesn't mean, like, it doesn't mean I have the best channel. It means I was able to gather the most amount of votes. And that's fine. That's what competitions are. You have to kind of think like a politician. But what I really gained from this month was, this is probably the first time, I mean, I've felt it a little bit with some other channels prior, but this is the first time that I really felt like I was part of a community on YouTube. All of the other nominees were absolutely fantastic. Maniaco Sporatari, that's probably the one I have the least to talk about. It's a Portuguese channel, but if you speak Portuguese and you love the Atari, I know I've got a lot of those fans on my channel here through my Game Select reviews. Go check him out. Cool channel. He's very exuberant. He obviously loves Atari, and he seems to know what he's talking about. Game Closet. I tell you, that guy, he writes funny scripts, has awesome delivery, high production value. He is 100% worthy of you checking him out. I'm going to have links to all these guys in my description here. This description is just going to be full of links. But, like, really fantastic channel. He's got a Resident Evil 4 remaster review that came out, I think, last week. And it's just so well done. It's a review in the style of an infomercial. But every single line, there are no wasted words in that review. Like, I wish I could write scripts and deliver like he could. And I commented on the video, and this is one thing I also want to mention. You know, subscriptions are great. Every YouTuber's trying to get to their 1,000 subscriptions and their 4,000 view hours. But something that I know I look forward to more than anything else, and Game Closet's response to my comment on his video just highlighted how much that means to me too. We want interaction. YouTube is a social platform, and you know, if I post a video, it could get 1 million views, and okay, I'll be happy that it got 1 million views, but if it's got no comments, I feel like I failed. I want to interact with my community. I want to know, did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you agree? Do you disagree? You know, we're putting stuff out there. We want that feedback. And his reply was along the lines of, you know, I really appreciate you commenting. It's really tough when you put this much work into something and you see it's not getting lots of views and nobody's commenting. So, I mean, for Game Closet's link in the description, I'm going to link to that video because it's a fantastic video. As soon as he got to the point where he had the Discover card joke, you know, he locked me for the rest of the video. I literally laughed out loud because I wasn't expecting it. You don't expect that in typical reviews. So, fantastic channel. I really hope to collaborate with him in the future. I commented on one of his other videos where he's talking about weird controllers. Man, I got some weird controllers that make those look like just your standard stock NES controller. Let's talk. Let's do something. Mr. Postyle. Now, Mr. Postyle is a man after my own heart. He likes, you know, the Atari, the Intellivision, the Odyssey 2, the Atari 7800. That's like all the stuff I love. And he does reviews on modern stuffs, whether it be Switch, VCS, PS5. He's done a lot of videos. But what I like about him is he's just so incredibly authentic. Like, I'm a scripted show. And this, here, this is me unscripted. And you can see I kind of bounce back and forth. And I've got a lot of ums and ahs. And I love the authenticity of his channel. I was watching one of his reviews. He's got this Popeye series where he's reviewing the Popeye games for like every system. I think the ColecoVision one's coming up. But, or actually, did he just do the ColecoVision? Either way, I think maybe the 7800 one's coming up. But I'm sure he'll comment and correct me. But he was struggling with one of the games, and that's another thing. Like, just because we're on YouTube doesn't mean we're actually good at any of these games. I'm certainly not. I curate my footage, but if you watch my gameplay videos, there's a couple of the games that I'm just really not good at. And, but he was playing one, and he was struggling, and then he finally beat the stage, and he's like, haha, suck it, I beat a level. And it just put the biggest smile on my face, because, in my videos, you don't see I'm not a streamer, you don't see my reaction to playing it, but that's the exact same stuff I say. And just, he's authentic, he's down to earth, he doesn't pretend to know everything, he's just a guy who loves games, and it shines through on his channel, and I love it. And then last but not least is Ballistic Coffee Boy. Now, Ballistic Coffee Boy, prior to the last 2 days of this competition, had a huge lead. And when I passed him and ended up winning, I knew in my heart how that must have felt. He was a nomination for last year's YouTuber of the Month in one of them, and he ended up not winning that one. And I watched his short on losing the competition, and I saw that one of his biggest goals was to nominate other channels, and he hit his 1,000 subscribers this month. He has a fantastic channel. He is kind of more of a news channel. He posts all the time, different news for homebrew, for all Atari systems, focus kind of on the Atari VCS. He also does these 5-minute espresso reviews that are similar to my 1-minute mini reviews for Atari 2600 games. It's just a little more thorough. But very much a news commentary kind of show. And he talks with programmers, and he talks with other YouTubers, and he just a really, really great show. And yeah, this was his last opportunity to win, and I kind of saw that, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to take a chance. Watching his videos, he seems like a genuine, caring, kind person, thoughtful person, and I emailed him and said, hey, I hope you don't mind me emailing you, but I want to say, congratulations on your 1,000 subs. I would have been happy for you if you had won. I would have accepted that defeat gladly. You've got a great channel. I have some nominations to make, and I have 2 or 3 in my head that I want to nominate, but otherwise I'm going to be searching for some other channels. Would you mind sending me the channels that you wanted to nominate? And, maybe we can get some of those guys in there. And this wasn't an offer of just like, give me some channels to nominate and I will automatically nominate them. It was a, I'll consider them as kind of a consolation prize, I guess, or whatever. But I didn't know what to expect. I've known Brian for about a month, and just kind of messages, well, not even messages, comments on videos throughout the competition. His channel was brand new to me, and so I really had no idea what was going to come back, if anything was going to come back. And in fact, it wouldn't have, I wouldn't have blamed him if he was just like, buddy, don't email me, just, especially kind of the way the votes ended up kind of swinging at the end. But to my very pleasant surprise, he was as gracious and kind as he comes across in his videos. He congratulated me. He mentions like, hey, you had me running around, man. Well done. These were going to be my nominations, and if you could consider them, please. These are my friends. These are people that I respect on YouTube. I would really, really appreciate it. So there were 2 of his nominees that were already going to be nominees for me. So that, in my head, I'm like, okay, win-win right now. And the other ones were channels I hadn't heard of. So I went and I took a look, and I have to say, Brian has really good taste in YouTubers. I spent probably about 2 to 3 hours on each one of those channels that I hadn't seen before, watching content and comparing it to content from other channels that I had been watching prior to getting Brian's reply. And the caliber was there. So I basically let him know, it's like, you know what? I'm going to be able to nominate 4 of the guys that are on your list. And as luck would have it, one of them declined. They didn't decline because they didn't appreciate the nomination. They declined because they knew that 2 of the other nominees were friends of theirs, and they didn't want to compete against them. Which I replied that I totally understand and I appreciate that, and I wish you the best of luck with your channel. And it was just like an integrity moment. Like, it was a really classy move. To see my nominees, you're going to have to go to the Real Bitwards channel and watch that video. But this gentleman that declined, I can mention here, and that's Luke's Awakening. And I'll put a link to him down in the video below. Really, really classy guy. And the thing about his channel that kind of put me over the edge and made me want to nominate him is, like, I've got 3 kids of my own. I love playing games with my kids. I got 2 teenagers now, and they span from 17 to 8. But he does kind of Let's Plays with his daughter, which, like, playing old Nintendo 64 games and stuff like that. And it's just so wholesome. And some people get their fuzzies from, like, seeing puppies and kittens and all that. For me, it's seeing good dads have good relationships with their kids. So, yeah, stand-up guy, really deserved a nomination, but I have no doubt he'll be nominated in the future. I guess I'll finish up with Brian by saying, in his video, he mentioned that he felt like he let his community down. And I said to you in email, and I'm going to say it publicly, I cannot think of a better champion for your community than you. Your content, the amount of work you put in and the amount of content you put out there, you're a real leader in that community, and you deserve your 1,000 subs, and I hope nothing but good things happen for you in the future with your channel. And whether or not we get to collaborate in the future, I'd love to. Know that I'll be watching and I'll be getting my Atari VCS news from you. And yeah, I wish you and Mr. Postile and Game Closet the absolute best of luck. moving forward with your channels. You've all got fantastic channels. And yeah, and Retro Bliss as well. I've been participating in Retro Bliss's live streams at about 11 a.m. every morning. And, you know, again, you know, he's not fantastic at every one of these games, but just a passion for the community. And that's something that all of us share. And I feel a kinship with all you guys, Brothers of June. So, yeah, maybe not your typical rah-rah I won. I'm thrilled that I did. I'm very thankful to everybody, and I'm excited to see what it might do for my channel in the future. But I really wanted to recognize those other guys because, like I said, I feel a kinship with them. They all have great channels. I'm subscribed to all of them. I hope you guys check them out if you didn't during the competition. And yeah, I feel like part of a community now, and it feels good. And well, like Brian said to me, is like, you've got a friend in Albuquerque, and you know what, you've got a friend in Burlington. I love you guys, and thank you everyone, and we'll see you next time on Mike's Gaming Gala.